It's almost upon us. The Girls, the musical based on those WI ladies from Rylstone who bared all for their charity calendar, has its premiere in Leeds this coming Saturday.
So we thought a nice way to start the week would be to get the writers in for a chat. They've never done a musical together, so they may be a bit nervous.
Yeah, I think they do seem a little bit nervous. Live in the Calendar studio, it's a very good evening to Gary Barlow and Tim Firth. It's an absolute pleasure to have you both with us.
I think terrified.
Ongoing terror.
Terrified because you're here or because you've only got a few days to go to the big one?
I think both, really, isn't it? I mean, the opening of anything that you've spent so much time, put so much effort and love into is always going to be a big night. We have been blessed that we're opening in Leeds Grand, which is definitely one of the most beautiful theatres in the country. We're very, very excited. And to be able to play it in the county where the whole story began is a real treat for us.
And the thing is, just yesterday, you allowed everyone to hear you singing your Yorkshire anthem. Let's just take a little listen to it now.
In September, standing here, same place as we stood last year, and next year we'll be standing on this green and pleasant land to start yet one. Isn't it strange to be standing and knowing that after many years, keep growing, love is the love, forwards and forever, evergreen and present.
Do you know, I've got a lump in my throat listening to that.
That gets you going, doesn't it? I mean, what was it like for you recording it? Because obviously it's done by the cast, it's the opening number of the show, but actually, to record it yourself?
Well, you know what? It's been a real learning curve doing this, and we've been at it for 4 years. And Tim very, very cleverly early on said to me, "Listen, I don't want you to go and watch 30 musicals now. I want you to take this story." He gave me some lyrics. He says, "I want you to do what you do best. Don't copy anybody else." And so that's what this process has been about. So actually singing any of these songs, it's an absolute pleasure too.
And Tim, you've expanded a little because you actually wrote the screenplay for the film Calendar Girls, but this is slightly different. It takes in the wider families, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. There had to be a reason for making it a musical, and the chance was here because Gary and I, coincidentally, both come from the same small town in
Cheshire.
On the other side.
We're allowed to talk about the other side.
Yeah.
But
Just don't go there, but we're allowed to talk about it.
No, we had this in a way. If you've come from the same town, you have a shorthand, and we knew that we were going to have to write a lot for this show. We had to write, what did we reckon, about 70 or 80 songs to get the 12 or 13 that are in the show. And in fact, on that little film there, when we did the show for the first time in Burnsall and just tried it out, we didn't have this song. This song was written because of the weekend that we spent in Burnsall. So in a way, The Dales has given birth to the opening song of the show.
And at Burnsall, you didn't have two young stars from our patch either, who are making their debuts this coming weekend. Let's take a look at them. Here they are.
Ben Hunter from Hull, Josh Benson from York there. And who do they play?
Well, this is all part of the new story, as you were saying, that in a way we kind of call it a comedy under Milt Wood as a musical, because it's about the town, it's about the husbands, it's about the kids as well. So there's new stories that actually feature the ramifications of this extraordinary endeavour on the wider community.
And they're starting out on their careers. How impressed are you by them?
Do you know what? They're amazing, and it's incredible to actually have kids that age in this show, because it actually makes everybody else sort of up their game in a way. And you know, they're just a pleasure to be around, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's very hard to find people who can sing and act and be funny, and the truth is, you know, we searched a long time for these guys.
Obviously, the original Girls were very much uppermost in both your minds while writing, wasn't it? I mean, it's so lovely to see them there. I mean, they're such wonderful women, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Tim's known them for years, and I've only met them really in the last year, but they're incredible.
Yeah.
And you can't describe it. I was trying to describe to Gary, you know, you have to meet them because the camaraderie and well, you'll have interviewed them, but after 5 minutes, well, after 5 seconds, they've forgotten you're there.
Yeah.
And they'll start talking amongst themselves, and that spirit, that corporate spirit, is what you've got to lock into that if you're going to make the play or the musical work.
And they actually like singing your songs, which has to be a plus point too. Would you mind if we played that in?
Oh no. Here we go.
Everything changes but you. We're miles apart, you know I love you. Everything changes but you. You know every single day I'll be thinking about you.
You know what? That's why I don't use the train anymore. You never know what you're going to come across, do you?
Yeah. We did apologise to everyone travelling down to London
I know,
from
I
Leeds
thought
on
that poor
day.
guy, and then I didn't realise it was one of the husbands. I thought he'd been forced to sing as he was going down.
Oh, we had a few good fun.
But you've been rehearsing now, final rehearsals. You've just been in London, haven't you? So let's have a little look. I mean, you've been at it for quite a while, haven't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is these rehearsal rooms that you're seeing now were down in the South Bank, and it's the last week that we've moved up to Leeds and start to build all of that in the theatre. But we had the girls down on the last day to have a look at it.
You know
And as
what?
you said at the beginning, you said about the Leeds Grand.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the perfect place, isn't it? The perfect place.
Yeah, there's not many venues actually where to stand on the stage you get the best view of the house, and that is one of them. You feel. You've got to remember that whether you put on a music or a concert, it's somebody's night out that night. And for me, to sit in one of those seats and watch a show, what an incredible experience.
Yeah, it's such an older, it's such a history there, isn't there,
Yeah.
as well? What's next for this musical? I know obviously it's going to be in Leeds and various regional theatres, but then are you hoping West End? Are you hoping Broadway?
Well, that's for us a long way in the future at the moment. We're going to learn a lot. We've got 16 previews coming up, which everyone says is a performance with an audience, a rehearsal with an audience. But obviously, we want this to come out the blocks. So we've got a lot to learn still about the show. So who knows
We
really
don't know.
what
We
its
don't know.
future
Next is Salford, but
Well-
beyond Salford,
Broadway.
Salford
Who
the
knows?
world.
And we're aiming
Leeds,
one
Salford
day,
the world.
Cheshire. Come on, bring it in.
Yeah,
One day, Warrington.
Yeah, we don't talk about it that much, Gary. Gary and Tim, thank you so much for coming and seeing us. The Girls opens on Saturday
Can't wait,
night
can't
in
wait.
Leeds. We can't